Good morning. On today's episode of Does It Fucking Work? We're looking at over-the-ear headphones, and specifically ones for the gym. These are the headphones I've found on all different websites that say they're the top 5, best workout headphones. The question is, does it really? Okay. So here's all the ones that I got to check, and you can see the boxes that are super pretty that no one cares about. In order from cheapness, we have $30, $60, $100, $150, $200, and that's what I got them for. That's not the necessary retail. These retail for $30, these retail for $50, these retail for anywhere from $90 to $120. These retail for $250, I got for $150, and then these retail for $300. So let's talk about them all in their own right and how that looks. Relative to fit and function, they are over the head earphones. So part of it is heat. It's going to get hot. They're going to suck. The JBLs, they're not actually JBLs. They are manufactured by JBL, but they're the Underarmor Project Rock Edition, are the best fitting of them all in my opinion. However, because it's a cloth material around the headphone, it gets really hot, really sweaty, and it's not very pleasant. Now, if you go on down one level, it's still the same headphone virtually, except for two small function features, which is the fact that this has a button that you can push through, double tap it, and it allows you to now communicate with people rather than block out the noise. That's kind of nice. Then you have your JBLs. That is a better use and fit for sweaty people like myself. If you're out there running and moving and doing, this is a better fit. Now then, your Ankors are fine, nothing crazy here. They hold well, they have the leather, but both of these do, and as such you can wipe them down afterwards. Which, the only one in all these categories that doesn't have a leather surface is the Underarmor Project Rock. I'm not sure why. So as you can see here, I have my cheat sheet, which you'll get a copy of right here somewhere in the corner, probably if I get a chance to edit this. So let's go through and rate these. The Beats Studio3, as far as fit, they got a 4 out of 10. They are lame. They fall off your head when you move, when you jerk, when you twist, when you turn, when you drop down to do any kind of bench press, anything, they just fall off. And I have decently large head and ears, as such, you'd think they would stay, they just don't. So 4 out of 10. The Project Rock gets a 6 out of 10. They're good, they hold well, they are form-fitting. Same thing as our JBL 650, below it, they both get a 6 out of 10. They sit there, they hold well, awesome. The Ankor is your cheap version of active noise canceling, and that is a different story. But as far as these go at $50, they really don't hold on too well. It's a 4 out of 10. They're too soft, so as you move, they just flop around. Now, the Plantronics in general, as far as fit and hold, same thing. Unfortunately, it's a 5 out of 10. It's one of those things that because they're a lighter weight than the Ankor, they do better. That's about it. So if you look at these in your order of best to worst, your JBL setups, they do better. What I really want to talk about is the volume levels. I like sound, and I like it to be loud, especially in the gym when everybody else is sitting there and have everything cranked up, and you really want to focus on your lift, you want to focus on your music and enjoy it. And everybody's like, oh, well, active noise canceling is the best. No one cares. So as far as these go, my rating for active level, for your actual volume levels, what you get and how loud you can turn them up, your Beats Studio 3, a little disappointing, not super disappointing, at a 6 out of 10. I will go to preface it that almost all of these did a bad job with that when I hooked them up, I had to add a volume booster to my phone to make it loud enough to really enjoy for a loud gym workout. So these get a 6 out of 10. Your Project Rock Under Armour ones, 5 out of 10 as far as volume. Your JBLs 650, 5 out of 10. Your Ankor, 4 out of 10. A little bit worse, remember, only $50 though. And then your Plantronics did really well actually, because they almost get a little bit distorted and their natural volume level is higher than the others. It works really well. So these things came in at a 7 out of 10. So a little counterintuitive, but while I enjoyed the Project Rock a little bit better on sound quality, the JBL 650 actually does a better job, just a little bit, because the equalizer is not set up for that extra thump in the bass. And as such, your highs are a little bit clearer and more crisp. So that's where that kind of falls in. Now, so as such, this gets a 9 out of 10. Moving on to the Ankor Q20. Again, $50 pair of active noise canceling cheap headphones. They still did good, but I'd say about a 5 out of 10 as far as sound quality. It was good. Nothing great to drive home about. Just fine. Now moving on to Plantronics, the Go 600 for $30. 5 out of 10. Same thing. Straightforward. Nothing to write home about. Just good. All right, to start winding down the video, let's talk about the features of each one. Each one does have unique and distinct features, and honestly, I think this kind of makes or breaks the headphones as far as gym use. And in that, we'll also look at the price relative to cost. So first off, the Beats Studio 3. I do think that there is an app for the iPhone. I'm an Android user, and so I don't care about it. But there are push areas over here that I'm sure do something, but as such, it didn't come with a manual, nor did it come with any kind of designation on the outside, no symbols, no nothing. So I'm gonna have to give this a 0 out of 10. From my understanding, it's a pair of headphones you put on and you listen to music to, which is great for most people. For me, that's lame. Doesn't really work in the real world. It'd be nice to have a noise cancellation button or a bass boost button or a skip to the next song button, which, like I said, I'm sure one of these do, but I don't know which one it is. And when it comes down to it, that's for $300. Like, that's ridiculous. I should have all the features in the world for $300, especially considering that my favorite of the bunch so far, the Plantronics, the Go 600, that's $30, has the best features in my mind for one reason. They have a bass boost button, and then they have simple buttons on the outside, and they work. That's it. So does it fucking work? Yes, it does. Still gonna only get a 6 out of 10 because it doesn't have that many features and it has no app, but overall, it's good. So when we look at these two, the Beats Studio 3 gets a 3 out of 10 relative to price versus cost. I just don't see anything worth it on these. It's just, they're expensive, and if you want to be bougie, go with these, sure. Be fancy, lame over there, go for it. But the Plantronics, for price versus cost, 10 out of 10. Flat out, perfect score. They have so much to offer for $30. It's excellent. But once again, no app. However, you do have your hard keys and your hard buttons, and you can feel them as you're moving. It's excellent. Now, let's look at the other ones. So let's look at the Project Rock, the JBLs, and the Ankors, the middle group. So, first off, the Project Rock. As far as features go, these get a perfect 10 out of 10. These are awesome. They have simple, straightforward buttons. They are all protruding around the edges, so it's easy to see, it's easy to feel. You have a horn button on the side, basically the bull, where you can double tap it, triple tap it, a single tap it, and it all has different built-in functions that you can customize with the app. It makes it really nice for everyday use at the gym. These get a 10 out of 10 as far as features. So moving on from that, the price versus cost. $250, marked down to $150 when I got them. So as such, I give them a 9 out of 10. They sound good, they're straightforward, they work well. It sucks that they are made out of cotton because they get really hot, but the features really make it work. So if you're like me, early morning gym person, you got people coming up talking to you, I don't have to pull up my phone and do anything. I double tap on one side and it stops. Or I can sit there and hold the button, have Google Voice activated, and all of a sudden I'm sending a text message, reminding myself, hey, pick up laundry after work, whatever it is. These are convenient. So that, as such, they take a 9 out of 10 as far as price versus cost. And then we'll go through the overalls here in a second. Moving on to the JBL 650. Now these are very, very similar to your JBLs. As such, they get a 9 out of 10 as far as features. They have almost the same features, except for the fact that they do not have the equalizer setting already out of the box for the Rock on the Project Rock headphones, as well as they do not have the pass-through voice, pass-through speech ability where you can tap a button and that activates. That's why this take a 9 out of 10, where these get a 10 out of 10. As such, the price versus cost, 9 out of 10 as well. They are really good headphones. They're good and solid, straightforward. I'm not sure if they'll work for you in the gym, but they're good. Then coming up in the rear, we have the Ankor with a 5 out of 10 as far as functionality is concerned. It's just not much here. You have an active noise canceling button, and you got some volume up and down, and that's about it. So either way, even with that, overall throughout the board, they do a wonderful job in pretty much, or they do a mediocre job in all their fields. Uh, but as far as having a good gym headphone, they're a pass. But I'd say 8 or 9 out of 10. And that's so far for price versus cost. So there you have it. The Ankor, not bad for 8 out of 10 is relative to cost. I mean, they're $50. You know, you can't beat that. So I'd even give them a 9. Honestly, it's one of those things that we're back and forth between an 8 and a 9. They're good. They work. They'd be a great gift for Christmas or holidays if you're looking for noise canceling leather headphones. Now, to summarize all the videos up, or all the lengthy videos so far, let's talk about the overall. Overall, in the cost from cheapest to, most expensive to cheapest, the Beats get a 4.2 out of 10. Just don't buy them. Just don't waste your time. There's better headphones out there. Literally right in front of me are the better headphones. The Project Rock and the JBL both get a 7.6 out of 10. They're both just good headphones. They work well. They're comfortable. They're not going to break when you move them. They are both a little bit too heavy for me personally in the gym. This one's definitely too hot because of the cloth fabric, and this one doesn't have the functionality that I wish this one had. Now, maybe you ought to change out the ear pads, and as such, it'd be better. They're also a little bit heavy as you move through the gym. Doesn't bother me much. Probably bothers other people a little bit. Now, moving on to the Ankor in general, we have for this one a 5.4 out of 10. They're $50. They're straightforward. They're average. Don't knock them until you try them. If you want some cheap active noise canceling headphones, that's your one right there. And then my personal favorite only got a 6.8 out of 10, which is the Plantronics Go 600. The Plantronics, I think, is the best headphone here as far as all aspects are concerned, just because of the sound. Now, the sound quality is not as good as most people would want. For myself, that's a little bit different. I do appreciate the sound quality, but at the gym, as I discussed at the beginning of the video on how I like to work out, I'm not super concerned about the sound quality. I would like to have something with a little more of a thumping bass, something that has almost slight distortion in it because it's so loud. Something where I can turn up the volume and like, it's too loud, I need to turn it back down a little bit. Those are key element and factors for me. As such, none of them are. Don't buy any of them. I'm going to start looking at in-ear headphones and we'll start doing reviews on that. If you did buy them, there are different ones. The Beats are great if you want something simple, straightforward, and expensive to look good in the gym at. If you want something with a great bass, a great bass boost button, and more features, Plantronics. That's excellent. The Rock are wonderful headphones, and they're not super bad at $150 a pair. The JBL probably are the best bang for the buck out of everything here because you can get them less than $100 and they still work really well. The Ankor, $50. They're going to be a better quality, better build quality than the Plantronics. The Plantronics does not have active noise canceling. It does not matter to me. Might matter to you. The rest of it does. The Ankor does have active noise canceling if that's a concern. Overall, I will take a second and probably put up a slideshow and say, hey, here's a summary of the stuff. Hope y'all had fun, and as far as does it fucking work, no, they don't. Don't listen to all those other articles. They're wrong. One more thing, real world worthy. I don't know if it matters, but they do have different cases. The Project Rock has a hard case that looks like a food container. The Plantronics has a cloth one. The Ankor has no case, and the JBL's has a case as well. So if that matters, you have it. If not, no. Well, congratulations! You made it to the end of the very first video I've ever really taken for YouTube and put up online. Hopefully that wasn't too god-awful, and if you made it to the end, yay. Hopefully you follow, like, and subscribe. I do intend on doing more and maybe actually doing better stuff. But either way, for now, thanks y'all. Oh, and one more thing. Sorry I never put a cheat sheet up in the top left or right corner or whatever to show you all that information. I did that video several weeks ago, and unfortunately have lost that chart since then. And me just being lazy, I didn't get a chance to remake it. But I will say from now on, I will try and do a little bit better as far as including content, detail, and effort. Hopefully the videos get better over time and you'll enjoy it. And so thanks for watching.